Hello, my friends. Good Erev Shabbos. Happy Friday, followed by a beautiful, wonderful, restful, and above all, inspirational Shabbos Kodesh. This isn't just any Shabbos. This Shabbos is called Shabbos Hagadol, the Great Shabbos, because it is the Shabbos that precedes Pesach, the greatest of our holidays, the most celebrated of our holidays. Take it from me. I know and consider myself a close personal friend of people from all walks of Jewish life, from the most religious to the most secular. I have friends in every circle. And in every circle, as long as someone identifies with being Jewish, they also identify with Pesach. They celebrate a Seder, to different degrees and different levels, of course. But when I go to one of my facilities and I have a model Seder with people who, when I talk about other holidays, they don't know what I'm talking about at first, but with Pesach, they start singing Manishtana or Dayenu and reminiscing about the days when they did it with their own parents or when they performed the Seder at their own home. Everybody, no matter who they are, identifies with the Seder night and identifies with the holiday of Pesach. But my question is, why? 49 or 50 days later, 50 days after Pesach, we have the holiday of Shavuos, celebrating when the Jewish people got the Torah, the greatest gift given to all mankind, and the guidebook of how we're supposed to live our lives. But speak to many people, they never heard of the day. Sukkot, that immediately follows the high holidays, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and in many ways is connected to Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, is called Zman Simchasenu, the happiest of our times. Many people never heard of it. Purim, many people never heard of it. But Pesach, everybody knows. Everybody celebrates or has celebrated or has some memories, something. Some connection to Pesach. So, I've always wondered why. Why is Pesach looked at differently as many than most other Jewish holidays? So, what is Pesach about? The Jewish people started off as not a people, not a nation, but a family. A family that went down to Egypt because of a famine. Were stuck there, and then were eventually enslaved there, grew to tremendous amounts, millions of people, but were enslaved and assimilated and turned into a slave class nation or slave class people. And then, after 210 years, God reveals himself, performs 10 plagues which defy everything we know from the natural world, and then the Jewish people, who are now a people, come out and become their own sovereign nation under God. So you know what Pesach is? It's Jewish Independence Day. It's when we became our own nation. And therefore, I feel that if you identify with being Jewish, you have to identify with Pesach, because it's the identity of who we are. Who are we? We're different. We're known, or we used to be known, before we were known as Yehudim, Jews, or Jewish people, we used to be known as Ivrim, from the word, our Hebrews, from the word Aver, Abraham from the other side. Avram ha'ivri, Abraham from the other side. Well, other side of what? Avram identified with being different than everyone else. All his surroundings, he started a whole new philosophy. He brought a belief and an understanding of one true God into the world, even though the whole world fought him. The whole known world fought him, but he brought this belief in, and no matter what everybody else was doing, he was different. He was on the other side. Which brings us into why this Shabbos is called Shabbos Hagadol, because it was the Arab Shabbos, the Friday before, that the Jewish people were commanded. Until now, you've had a free ride. I performed, said God, 9 of the 10 plagues that defy nature. You're going out soon, but you've done nothing to deserve it. They were assimilated. They were worshiping idols like everybody else. They were worshiping the sheep and the lamb. But now you've got to prove your worth. You've got to stand up and be Ivrim, different. All of Egypt worships the lamb. Go get yourself a lamb. In front of everybody. Don't be afraid. Take the lamb and put it in a place that everybody can see. And when they ask you what you're going to do with it, when the Egyptians ask you what you're going to do with it, you're going to say in another couple days, in 4 days to be exact, we're going to sacrifice it, and we're going to use it as part of our Seder. The very first Seder the Jewish people celebrated was in Egypt, 3,335 years ago to be exact. And you're going to eat that lamb, showing the world that we're not like everybody else. We don't believe in a plethora of idols. We believe in a one true God. And it was on this Shabbos that we proved it to the world. We showed no fear to the Egyptians that had enslaved us for so long. And we did something that was against everything they believed in to show we're different. And then the night that they came out of Egypt, or the night before they came out of Egypt, they sat around the table discussing what had happened over the last 210 years and eating from an animal that they previously had worshipped, showing we're different and we're the Jewish nation. We're Ivrim. We're different than everyone else. So, why do we celebrate Passover in all different stripes and all different backgrounds of Judaism? Because this is the day that we identify with being Jewish. So I wish you all a beautiful Shabbos and a very uplifting Pesach. Shabbos and Good Yom Tov.